Hey, we are live here on YouTube, getting started for the Barcelona versus Mallorca preview show. So, first, I want to say hello to everybody who's in here, and we'll be getting a few more as we go along. Okay, so first things first. Hey, Oriel, and hey, Muddy. As again, we're getting started here. I think there is definitely consternation. This is a must-win game for Barcelona. That is definitely true here. But hey, let's dive right into the starting lineup, right? We're 30 minutes away from kickoff. Remember, I'll put this in the chat here that we're going to be doing this over on Big Up then at 3 p.m. So there we go. So yeah, Lewandowski doesn't start a match for the first time this season, which is something. It's also that this is a match that he did not start last season as well, which again is another interesting thing to note. Hey to TH or this. Yeah, there you go. So Ferran Torres starts. And this becomes must win for Barcelona because they are only up by one against Real Madrid in the table, with now Real Madrid having their game in hand. So Barcelona, by dropping points to because when I had recorded that, that being the match review, Real Madrid hadn't won yet. Then they went off and beat Adafe in interesting circumstances. And now again with that game in hand, they find themselves down just one in the table. My feed here is not really working. Okay. Shapnir, I'm more afraid of this match than the Dortmund match. Well, it's funny because things kind of flipped, right? It was that Barcelona started the Champions League with that loss to Monaco, and then things became a little more, a little more up in the air in the Champions League. But now Barcelona taking care of business in the Champions League in ways they have not been doing in the Liga over the last month. So now in the Champions League, they're in a better position than they are in La Liga. But I'll say La Liga being the marathon that it is, things in La Liga could absolutely flip very, very quickly. But in the case of the Champions League, like another two poor results in a row, like losing to Dortmund, then losing a second match can take you out of the top 8. Like that's how quickly it is. Like Champions League, you really got to keep pace. And in Liga, it again, it's a marathon. Real Madrid put themselves down a little bit early, and they lost the head-to-head with Barcelona, and now Barcelona flipping the what they say, flipping the switch, I guess, in the opposite direction, and now Real Madrid are. I mean, they really haven't. They haven't really lost any games. They just draw. Real Madrid takes some draws. So my ESPN feed is just it's not working. So I might have to even like put that on my cell phone. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Maybe they got to figure that stuff out there. Z Meister, how you doing? I am calm. We will win by a few goals. Easy match for us tonight. It is interesting you say that though, because Mallorca have done a good job this season. Every time I watch them, they know how to get points. So I wouldn't even say that's. I don't know if it's going to be a win, more that it could be a draw. It's at Mallorca, which is a tougher place to play. They don't have that many people in their stadium, but Mallorca can be a tough place to play. Yeah, right now they're 6. So Athletic Club, because they have that game in hand over Villarreal, have jumped over Villarreal. In the league table to be 4th right now. And then Mallorca is sitting in 6th, though. They're in the other European spot in La Liga on the 24 points. And they also have won their last 2. So Mallorca is in a pretty good spot. Jared, good point. The last time that Mallorca played Barcelona, they overwon their pitch, and it was a tough match. Z-Meister, they have, but looking at the starting lineup, having Olmo and Lamine start matters a lot. Yeah, we're about to get to the starting lineup here. So first, let's do the Mallorca starting lineup real quick. Not say there's no surprises there, but Paulo Maffeo, that's the name people know. Valgent has been a mainstay as a center back since they got popped up. Oriel, yeah, give a like to help the channel. That would be a big help to get people looking more at this. Riola, the other center back, he's very, very experienced. Juan Mojica, people know that I do enjoy Mojica quite a bit. I think he's pretty fast, pretty good at causing some danger defensively. Not the best, but he's pretty much a winger. Samu in the middle. Sergi Darder, I think, is one of those reasons why Mallorca. I mean, he was a great pickup for them. Darder is, he's one of those La Liga players of this generation that I enjoy, and I think I appreciate him. Valeri is not younger player. I guess he's like a winger I called him younger a while ago, but he's one of the only ones like from Mallorca's academy because most of their talent gets piped at younger ages, and so they have to sign to get better. And then Muriqi is the guy up top to watch, to worry about. Obviously, a big guy that's going to be giving Inigo Martinez and Pau Cubarsí not even headaches, just he's going to be annoying because he is annoying. That's just kind of what he is. Okay, and then for Barcelona, let's get into their starting lineup today. There's Ferran Torres starting up top for Lewandowski. As I said before, Lewandowski is not starting his first match this season. He was the only player to start all 20 games of the season so far. So now he finally gets a rotation and a rest, which, I mean, does make sense. He's 36 years old, and Saturday was the last match, and now it's Tuesday. So pretty quick turnaround, honestly. And Ferran Torres is finally healthy again. So Ferran Torres gets a start, and then you have Rafinha and Lamine Yamal back in the starting lineup, and Dani Olmo also back in the starting lineup. So he was held out of that game on Saturday because he wasn't fit. So he wasn't even, Dylan says, or maybe he was 5 minutes late to training. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. I think this is a fair rotation. And then Olmo does start again. And I think, Z-Meister, to your original point, I think if there's one thing that calms me about this match, it would be that Olmo and Lamine Yamal start together for the first time since results kind of went sideways. Because remember, the results began to go poorly when Lamine Yamal went down, and he was out a few weeks. And then even with him coming back, he and Olmo have not started yet together. So Olmo and Lamine Yamal are the two best creators for Barcelona. And Hansi Flick's system of risk and reward, we'll talk about that again, that along the back line, we know the risk and reward conversation we can have. And it is when we look at the last few matches, it is just some mistakes that led to goals, right? The Koundé mistake 2 matches ago. And I would say that Fort made a mistake in that last match out. And the mistake to allow the attacker to get inside shoulder of him, and then he was in on goal. And then you have Pedri and Casado starting as the defensive midfielders today. And as I said on Saturday, I feel like missing Casado was a thing. It's no disrespect to Pedri and Gabi, obviously, at all. Like, I think Pedri and Gabi are, the reason they were the Golden Boy winners, and the reason they took home that award, because between Pedri and Gabi, I think they were still working on that, figuring out what their chemistry was going to be. And I think Casado has proved to be, as I said, like undroppable. I think he's been so essential. It's so crazy to me to say that when I went through and talked about the not even undroppable, but players that this 11 absolutely needs. I mean, just looking at that 11 right now, it is basically, if they want a good result, I think you talk about Cubarsí and Inigo Martinez pretty quickly, and they've been undroppable. Not that they could be rotated for anybody either, because Araujo's still out, likely to come back in the next 2 weeks, and then Christensen's out till January. So there really is like, there's no one to come in for those two, and then you'd have to shift Koundé over, and that has not been something that Hansi Flick has done. He's actually had Koundé just playing right back, and then Hector Fort or Gerard Martin on the left side being the 2 rotation pieces. Balde is starting again, so it seems like, it really just was as bad as we thought it was, where he just got hit in the throat, couldn't breathe. I'm worried that he picked up a concussion or something because he was throwing up, but I mean, maybe it was just like a response. ESPN is showing this graphic that is absolutely insane. In the Barcelona matches in the Liga this season that Lamine Yamal started, they're 11-0, and in the matches that he did not start, they're 0-1-3, which is pretty crazy. If everybody who's in here if you could give this stream a like, that would be very, very appreciated. There was a little bit of a bump when people liked it last time, so if you give a like, that would be greatly appreciated. Just because I don't know. I don't know what YouTube's up to or doing, but they're they're promoting some different channels, and they're boosting down a few other channels. So my channel is one that I've noticed over the last week has definitely been hit with some rough stuff. Um, Jared, there has to be more to that graphic than what is being shown. Just me, you mean? Uh, yeah, totally agree. I'm working on that stuff, to be honest with you. Well, we're working on it. So I'll be putting stuff up and streaming this a little bit better in future weeks. So I am working on that for the holidays. Hopefully in the new year I'll have some more stuff. So good point, Jared. That yeah, I need some more graphics. I need some more going on. Um, so yeah, so we still got about 15 minutes before we're gonna head over to Big Up. Yeah, thanks for the likes there. Again, that is helpful to get this to more people. Okay, and then that's again, we're all going to be migrating to Big Up at 3 p.m. That's what we're going to be doing here. Okay, so then the rest of that starting lineup, Balde, as I said, does get the start between Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi, and Kunde, and Inaki Pena. So I think on paper, Lewandowski is the rotation piece. And this is the starting. I mean, this is the best 10 behind him. Not Lewandowski, I mean, but like behind Ferran Torres. So Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Olmo, Pedri, Casado, Balde, Nico Martinez, Kubarsi, Kunde, Pena. That has been the formula this season for Barcelona to get results and positive results. So I think that's a fair 11. I think we should have fairly have expectations. Like there's been a lot of rotations lately, and again, it's no disrespect to Hector Fort and Gerard Martin and to the rest of that bench that include Fermi Lopez starting a few of those matches as well. But yeah, but for Barcelona now, they have the option of bringing off the bench Gabi, Lewandowski, Fermin, Pablo Torre. I mean, does Frankie de Jong change a match? Oriel, let's see. I'm seeing Barca channels like Barca Talk and Barca News grow very fast because they post news. Yeah, I don't really post news either. That's not really. I'm not in the business of breaking news. It also is a quick turnaround. Like you really got to get that stuff out very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I think if people get more on me about the top five, news of the week or news of the day, I think to make something out of a story, Oriel, just to get into the weeds here, to make something out of nothing is not. I don't know. That's just not my style. I think we're so reactive, and sports is hourly, right? And it's not like day by day. So for me, I really take the time to write my scripts out, and that's why when I do something special, like I did about that number 10 thing, it just takes a long time to make that content and to again do all the research. And that's why even my La Masia stuff, I do those every like 6 months because it takes watching games, it takes understanding which players over the course of multiple games are having good seasons, are having rough seasons, or are doing this well, not doing that well. So I could be doing more stuff, but as I said, I am looking in the new year to really streamline a bunch of my stuff. As I said, like so this is actually a Viola Coulee shirt that I just got from the merch store. I've been doing a few things in the merch store as well. So hopefully, again, there is more exciting stuff to be happening here on the channel on Horizon, and that will lead to growth and all those different things. So again, I appreciate everybody who's in here. Continue to give me a like. That would be helpful just for the stream here today. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit even about that Mallorca bench. They've got some interesting pieces on their bench too. So they have their veteran, Danny Rodriguez, who's been with them for a while now. Not that Danny Rodriguez, not the U19 Barcelona winger, Danny Rodriguez, the elder Danny Rodriguez, Mateo Mori, the former Barcelona right back, who I was so high on back in the day. Again, people who've been following me since, yeah, Mateo Moro was a Barcelona player when I started this podcast almost 8 years ago. So Mateo Mori, he is, yeah, right back. He played for Borussia Dortmund for a little bit there. I really was so high on him. He's one of those examples where I think that injuries kind of derailed him because Mateo Mori at 17, I was saying, hey, that kid is the future of Barcelona right back position. He's the guy. Then I believe he had an ACL tear, or maybe he broke his leg, one of the two. He had some kind of major injury, kept him out almost a whole year. And then it was kind of start and stop. And then he left for Dortmund when I think he was 17 when he left for Dortmund then. Yeah. So this is like when he was like U16. Yeah. Then he left for Dortmund at like 17, 18. And he got some appearances for Dortmund. I think that helped his development. He stayed a little healthier, but also would go down at times. So Mateo Mori has had good and bad moments. The Mallorca the Mallorca mascot, by the way, is being absolutely a menace. It's the devil, so he's being absolutely a menace. He's now attacking the Mallorca Rondo too. So he was attacking the Barcelona players earlier. I'm liking this. I know people. I don't. What do y'all think about these mascots? I know this is a non sequitur, and we're we're going and talking about mascots. I will talk about Ferran Torres and Rafinha and all that stuff in a second. But I don't know. The mascot stuff is I do like it. I think the NBA in the US here has a fine line of kind of incorporating mascots and making them fun and making them part of something without kind of overlapping with what's happening on the court and kind of, I think that it's not too silly. Um, and I think being silly sometimes just it we need that. And yeah, so I'm very pro mascot. Every team having a mascot, like Barcelona having Cat. I think I'm excited about Cat. I'll tell you that for maybe from not for for Christmas, but for my birthday. I know that they're going to be selling merch on him, and like a little plush version of Cat is likely going to be added to the not the gallery wall, but to the um, you know what I'm saying, to the whole setup. Um, yeah, what else would there be today? So, did I see the Tottenham one with the goal celebration? I did. The Tottenham mascot. Let me let me share my screen. So they have, yeah, there's Chirpy, Lily, and Ralph, but those mascots aren't yeah, so for people who don't know what we're talking about as far as the mascot for Tottenham, let me just share my screen. So there we go. This is the mascot we're talking about, Chirpy for Tottenham, going absolutely bonkers. So yeah, so that's quite a bit of fun there. Um, yeah, yeah, but I'm pro the mascot thing. I like it. I like that it's happening. Let's see. What else we have here? Shepner, I feel if we win today, we will win Betis and have a good matchup against Dortmund. If we lose today, we lose Betis and Dortmund. That's why I'm concerned about today more than the Champions League. Um, I don't know. I mean, Dortmund again is like 8 days away, so things can change in 8 days. If we put the game to bed, we must rotate Rafinha. The guy's been playing every minute plus the international break. I do feel like Vidar, I do feel like he is fatigued. Like I think in that last match against Las Palmas, the what I did note was that I think both Rafinha and Lewandowski were not as clinical as they usually are, and I do honestly believe that fatigue has a role to play between Rafinha and Lewandowski, more than I think the rest of the squad. I think fatigue was has kind of gotten in the legs. So yes, Rafinha, if you can, you rotate him. Who you take out for him? I mean, I guess yeah, it would be because he's on the left wing today. I think you do rotate out Fermin Lopez, but can you force Olmo and Lamine Yamal into 90 minutes? I think Hansi Flick's got a tough thing. I think he's going to He's going to have to ask 90 minutes out of Ferran Torres and hope that nobody along that back line needs to be subbed out because I think all five of Costello can go 90. Okay, so I take that back a little bit. Costello can go 90 today because he was just suspended against Las Palmas, so he got a rest whether he wanted or not. So I think Costello goes 90 today for sure, unless he picks up a yellow card a little bit too early. And then you get Pedri, should be rotated, hopefully out for Gabi likely. Danny Olmo, I would hope he gets rotated for Pablo Torre at some point when the match. You'd hope it's wrapped up. Fermin Lopez comes on for Rafinha, and then on that right side, you give Lamine Yamal, maybe go 75, and then you take out him for Pau Victor. I think that is kind of the rotation that I'd like to see. Those are the subs that I would make. I'm telling you now that I'd make those subs, and then Lewandowski, you rotate him for Ferran Torres, so there's your fifth sub. So there you go. So that would be the 5 subs I would make. Hopefully the back line can stay fit and is fine. No one need to get substituted out today. And you make those other 5 changes because again, I think Casado can go to 90 today and you don't worry about it. Let me see. Shepner. If Ferran Torres has a good game and scores, he will win me over as a Barca fan. I will forget the other stuff he does for real. I don't know. It's been a tough road for Ferran Torres. I think Ferran Torres needs a new location as far as team. I think he needs a change of scenery. I think he needs a place where he can be a starter. And he's always in his career when he gets minutes and builds consistency, but he's been a rotation piece for Barcelona, and he'll never not be a rotation piece now for Barcelona. He's just not at the level to be a starter anymore, and not even anymore. He's what is it? What is he? 24 right now? I think Ferran Torres turned 24 this year. Um, yeah, he's 24. So at 24, Ferran Torres should be a starter somewhere. And, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't say this is the last year for him. I think it's the last year for Ansu Fati, unfortunately. But I don't think it's the last year for Ferran Torres. But I don't know. I think it's time for him to look somewhere else. Sean, Barca should look to sell Fermin in the summer to raise funds due to having Guy and Rafinha to replace Almo if needed. Sean, I would not get rid of Fermin Lopez. Remember, he is still just 20 years old. Or did he just turn 20? Yeah, he's 20 years old. So I think there's still even a higher level to go for Fermin Lopez. I think he's been improving. I mean, last season it's hard to replicate the 12 goals he had last season, but I think his instincts are so good. And to get scoring, I know he plays as a forward in this kind of role, but I don't know, to get a scorer and to get a player that you can plug in as a number 10 who's going to guarantee you get you goals. Like the thing is about all the number 10s that I've mentioned in the academy, because I know Kim Junette is playing a lot of wing, but I do think at the top level, Kim Junette is probably a 10. And he's very much a dribbler, a creator, a little bit more than a goal scorer. Now, Guy Fernandez, that kid's a scorer. He can create, but he's just more of an all around offensive threat in the middle of the park. And I will say Guy Fernandez is taking a little bit slower to Barca Athletic. So he is 16, and at times at Barca Athletic this season, I feel like he's looked 16. And I mean, he's still getting called up by Hansi Flick. His potential is still so high out the wazoo, all that different stuff. So I think Guy Fernandez is going to be there. But what I will say is I know that Gavi and Lamine Yamal and Pau Barcy and even to a point Hector Fort, that these players have come into the first team, and we now say that hey, these kids are first teamers. They've made sense. But it doesn't always work. You never know. So at 16, I still don't know. But Guy Fernandez and Tony Fernandez are surefire things in the academy that I've seen in a long, long time. And I've actually almost flipped the order, and I'll talk about this on La Masia stuff. But for me, it was Guy Fernandez was the top prospect. And I think when I talk about La Masia, I think I'm going to switch that a little bit, and I think I'm going to put Tony Fernandez, the other cousin, as basically the most unmissable at the moment. Too bad for him that he does play in Lamine Yamal's position at right winger, but he can also play in different spots on the field too. And I think that versatility is going to help him out quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, I think that Barcelona should. I know that depth seems to be an issue, especially on the wing. I mean, like they don't have enough wingers, but as I said, I think for the rest of this season, if Barcelona want to win trophies, I don't know if there's other options out there, Sean. I think that Barcelona, I think, just desperately need to get something out of Ferran Torres. I think you need to get something out of Ansu Fati. I mean, or at least one of the two. You need something from Ferran Torres. You need something from Ansu Fati. You desperately need Lamine Yamal to stay healthy, and you desperately need Dani Olmo to stay healthy, and Rafinha. Every team needs health, though, because now we're just being reductive, right? Because it's like if it's Real Madrid, you're like, you desperately need Kylian Mbappe, and you desperately need Vinny Jr. to stay healthy. Like, those are the things you need. Van, let's see. Could you give a quick power rankings of Leo, Marmouche, Nico Williams, Salah, and Kvara? Well, I'm actually going to I'm kind of kicking Salah out of that because he's a right winger and he plays a different position as the other three. And same thing with Marmouche. Like he's more through the middle. So between Leao, Kvara, and Nico, I'm gonna go Leao, Nico, Kvara. I think in that order. Because when I talk about wingers, and people know this always, that this is to me, it's always about floor, even more than it is about ceiling. And I think Leao has the highest floor from game to game. Like he can give you something every game that you watch with AC Milan. Like I don't. There are very few games when you go, where is he? So I think Leao from game to game gives you a floor that you sign up for, and then obviously his ceiling is as maybe higher than the other two. And I think for Kvara, I think Kvara has the best defensive instincts of the three. And I think Kvara could honestly, he would be potentially like a Rafinha like signing where you sign him thinking he's going to be this kind of thing, and then he winds up giving you even more than you expect. But I think Kvara's his number is going to be as high as the other two. But I think Kvara's floor is lower than Leao and Nico Williams from an attacking perspective from game to game. When you watch Kvara, when he has poor matches, he's completely non-existent. It doesn't happen often. Like one of the best left wingers in world football. But when he goes missing, he's really missing. And then with Nico Williams, he's not having the best production season this year. I think joining Barcelona would solve a lot of those problems. But Athletic Club is still getting results this year, despite him not really finding his top form. And I think Nico still would be enhanced by playing with Barcelona. But that's a gamble to say, hey, by bringing this guy to Barca, you get a better level out of him is a lot to ask of. Van, you're saying Kvara is the best passer, but as a Real Madrid fan, laughingly, he's making only $50K per week. Yeah, well, that's what I said when they say best presser. I think, defensively, winning the ball back, Kvara is the best of the three options. But I think Barcelona, that's why I even said when I did Domagoy's pod that when Barcelona's front four is healthy between Olmo and Lamine Yamal and Rafinha and Lewandowski, there's a reason why that foursome was scoring more goals than any other front four in all of world football. They were doing the thing. They were scoring more goals than anybody else in world football, and there's a reason why I was so hesitant to rotate one of those four out for another one of these players, regardless of who it is. Let's see. Josue saying, chat, should I put my house on Barca winning today? No. I'll tell you this, though, Josue. Maybe I need to get into different, we'll say different kind of sponsors on the channel because, it's a tough road. But but yeah, I think people know I'm not really a gambling man, so I would not put your house on Barcelona winning at Mallorca. Like never bet when a team is playing on the road. Postway, sorry, that's just to give you a little betting advice there. Never put a large amount of anything when a team is on the road in football. Sean says, if reports that Alphonso Davies is willing to reduce his salary demands, you go for him on a free in the summer. I think he's going to Real Madrid. Sean, I think it's a non-starter. I think Real Madrid, if he's going to be free. So I also don't think he's going to reduce his demands. So I think he's going to Real Madrid for his salary demands. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about. Ben said, I did the advanced metrics pie chart comparison, and Kvara is a superior winger to Nico and Leao. Nico and Leao are faster, however. Well, yeah, I think I'll say too. I think for Nico and Leao, I think I think you get more for them in Barcelona's system. I think the attention that Lamine Yamal attracts, and then having a Lewandowski, whoever the number 9 will be for Barcelona in the future. I don't know. I see the ceiling higher with those two coming in. Even if the metrics right now, totally fair. The advanced metrics you're watching say that Kvara contributes a lot more because I said defensively he contributes a lot more. As a presser, as you said, he does contribute a lot more. I think all those things are true. I also think he has a greater responsibility for Napoli even than Leao has for, and Nico Williams has had for Athletic Club. Like the advanced metrics, of course, have not been nice to Nico Williams this season. He's not having a great year. Javier, I think depending on the results, you keep Lewandowski on the bench and sub Koundé. Yeah, hopefully. But I think this is going to be an uphill battle. I think it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to be starting on Big Up now. I'm going to start the stream over there as well. So let me see here. We're going to start the stream over on Big Up. Okay, and I remind people, if everybody in here could migrate, that would be a big help. Head over to Big Up with me. So we are live on Big Up right now. I'll keep answering a few of these questions as this match starts, and then I'm going to end this YouTube stream. I just want to get through the rest of these questions. Let's see. Van says, seeing LeBron go 4 games out of 3-pointer makes me shiver as to what type of Lewandowski we get next year, asking him for 55 plus starts is unrealistic for next season. Van, LeBron James is 40 years old. Lewandowski is 4 years younger. And yes, they're very, very different games. But those, they're all timers, right? LeBron, Lewandowski. Zlatan was kind of the same way. Like these guys that are just, I mean, they seem to be ageless. Treyush, Abruma is the best, don't you think? I will be talking about now for those who are not in the know. Who he is talking about is Ibrima Tunkara, and um, I will be talking about Ibrahim Tukar in the future, but he is 14 years old. So, to your point, Tayush, like 14 is a bit. I didn't even cover Lamine Yamal. Like I knew about Lamine Yamal. I like would mention him in passing, but I never really did a feature or a profile or anything on him because 14 is just so young. I appreciate everyone who's popping over to Big Up at the moment. Everybody continue to move over to Big Up. That would be a big help because again, I'm going to be stopping this stream now with the game just about to start here. What are my thoughts on João Pedro as a future number 9? Not totally sold on him. Yeah, not totally sold on him. Van, Fort, and Gerard Martin not ready for big games. What happened to your guy, Arnau Martinez? Yeah, Arnau Martinez. He, for Girona, he got hurt last season, and he kind of never found his form again. Even a TK, what's your thoughts? I think a TK makes too much salary-wise. And, I don't know. He's haven't watched enough of him, but I don't think he has the highest ceiling. I think he did maybe 2 years ago before he made the move to PSG, but I think his progress kind of stalled a little bit. And if he does find his top form, it's going to be higher. And then what are your thoughts on selling De Jong for a lower figure in the summer and getting Kimmich on a free? I don't know. I don't know if Kimmich is the answer either. Gil Manzano tonight. Yes. We're getting Trent be the Cancelo part 2 for us. Cancelo really let us down in big games. I don't know what's going to happen to Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think, Van, I don't have time to talk about that now, but let me see. And then Leo is the price will be similar. Maybe John. Okay, I'm going to stop this because it's time to get the feed started on Big Up. It already has started. We're a minute in, so you can join me over there as we do the watch along, tactics, and all that stuff. So I'm stopping the stream now. Really appreciate everybody.